Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video of why is X coin still a thing and who the heck buys it. Now I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this video because Tron is like the little train that never could. Sorry, I botched that. But you know, I remember when Tron did its ICO back in 2017 and it absolutely skyrocketed. It was the bee's knees. It was better than bread on toast. It was better than jam on toast or whatever. I botched that one as well. And then it kind of sunk down into oblivion, and it looked like it was just going to fade into obscurity because so many coins from that era, of the 2017 ICO area, you know, the graduating class of that time had mostly gone away and had never really reclaimed its glory. There are so many coins that I won't even bother mentioning that, you know, went into the top 10 market cap, top 10 of all coins, then quickly fell away and no one ever really heard about them again, or they're still around petering like in and out of like the top 30 or whatever. But Tron's different. Tron is very unique and special amongst these coins because it somehow made it. It started off with a very well, I won't say too much of a unique idea at the time, and even now. Basically, the premise was to become like the next, you know, layer 2 protocol, you know, kind of in competition with Ethereum. Cardano at that time Cardano is even still now trying to be like the next Ethereum. You know, Solana right now is the next Ethereum. Polygon, you know, so these are what you call layer 2 protocols, and what these are blockchains that act as a base layer for other people to come and build decentralized applications on top of. Now, these decentralized applications have their own use cases, their own utilities, they create their own ecosystems, whatever, they issue their own tokens, but it's ultimately done on the foundations of these other layer 2 protocols. And in order to be able to function on this smaller altcoin, you need to be able to pay the gas fee. So every time you want to do an action, you have to pay a gas fee, right? That gas fee is going to be in the original native token, the token of that original platform. So if you build a decentralized application on Ethereum, you then have to, and then you're using that decentralized application, every time you make an action, you have to pay the gas fee in Ethereum. The same thing with the Solana. If you build a dApp on Solana, you then have to pay the gas fee in Solana, right? So this is the general business model of these layer 2 protocols. And at the time of, in 2017 in particular, only Ethereum had done this successfully at that time. And there were a number of ERC20 tokens coming out, but then you had a bunch of other wannabe layer 2 protocols that, you know, didn't really match up, but they were there. They had the promise, and they promised to be, you know, the ETH killer, right? So Cardano for a long time was promised to be an ETH killer, and I'm surprised that coin's still around. I'm genuinely surprised that it's still around, but you know, that didn't really live up to its promise. You had Ant shares, which became what's it called, Neo. There was another one called XEM. I think it was like they used to call like Japanese/Chinese Ethereum back in the day. And none of them really measured up. And then Tron was one of those coins, and at the time, Justin Sun, the founder, he was always changing the narrative from what I understood. Originally, one of the narratives at the time was this was going to be a layer 2 for gamers, right? So you'd have a bunch of gaming dApps come to this platform, and they're going to build a bunch of dApps there, and Tron's got, you know, much cheaper fees than Ethereum, so it's going to attract all these developers to come build their dApps on the platform, on the blockchain. And yeah, ultimately Tron would be able to build its model that way, but that didn't really happen. And Justin Sun over the years has tried to attract various things to come build onto its platform, and it didn't really happen so much. There was not Pirate Bay, BitTorrent. BitTorrent recently made a token in the past couple of years. Justin Sun actually bought BitTorrent's that whole thing. The idea is that BitTorrent, you know, they would build on top of Tron or something like that. And as far as I know, it didn't really work out that way. It was just kind of fluttering along, like all these altcoins you never really think or even hear that much about anymore, but they're still around with, you know, impressively large market cap still. And over the years, Tron had kind of just crept in through the back door when no one was noticing. Very few people were paying attention to what was going on Tron. And to be fair, like even if you're chronically online, focusing on crypto stuff all the time, there's always going to be new things you aren't going to be paying attention to. But it's interesting that very few people are paying attention to it, and that's the fact that Tron Tron's it's called TRC20. That's their that's what they're called on the blockchain. Ethereum's got ERC20. Polygon's got Matic. Binance has got BEP20. So Tron's their version of their layer 2 protocol. When you interact with them on the blockchain, when you interact with them on dApps, they've got TRC20, right? So USDT, which is the primary stable coin of the crypto world, you got a few others, but USDT is the main one. It's got $116 billion of market cap, huge volume. Most of the trading volume up until like 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, was Ethereum, right? But Ethereum was expensive. So, there were a number of other options you can use, but people were still trading Ethereum, right? But you had a number of other alternatives. You had Matic, you had Avalanche, you had Solana, and they offered much cheaper alternatives to sending USDT via the Ethereum network. People would send it via Matic, which is what I was fond of. You could send it by Binance, but despite that, it didn't really take off so much. It didn't end up becoming like, it wasn't like, Ethereum lost its first place, to like Matic or something like that, which is, to be honest, I didn't fully understand. Now, what I still don't understand is why tens of billions of dollars of worth of volume went from all these other chains like, Ethereum, of course, and Avalanche and Solana, and they all went to Tron. I still don't fully understand. Now, I can explain a little bit what I do understand, but I still think it's miraculous and it's strange. I don't fully know why this has happened, but essentially, the Tron network has become the de facto means of transacting USDT. When you trade USDT now, it basically means you're trading it on the Tron network. So I want to give you a few things to show you here. Okay, first, before I get into what I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you a website called DeFi Llama. And one of the big things that you want to look up is something called TVL. That's total value locked. And that indicates how much value is locked in any one particular layer 1 protocol, right? So there's a number of dApps on each layer 2 protocol. Like Ethereum, you've got all these dApps on there. A number of people lock in their funds in order to get some reward, right? People do things like yield farming, staking, stuff like that. And the amount of funds that are locked into place on that platform is the best indicator of what the overall value of that layer 1, layer 2 protocol is actually worth. So this will give you a good indicator of what Ethereum is really worth. You can see if these types of coins are overvalued or undervalued. When you see that there's one type of coin that's worth a certain amount of money, but it has a low TVL, and you see another type of coin that's worth much less in price, much lower in market cap, that is, but it's got much higher TVL, it's a good indication that that coin, the latter coin, is undervalued and it's worth looking at. So as we can see here, this is the list of all of the major layer 2 protocols. We've got, all the way down here, we've got, Bitcoin at number 16, we've got just ordinal stuff like that, people trading NFTs and Bitcoin Pepes or whatever it's called. Tons at 14, Optimism, Sui, Scroll, just a bunch of random ones. Then we kind of get to more well-known ones, Avalanche, then Polygon, Arbitrum's up here, BSC, that's number 4, and then Solana, and then Tron. So Tron has how much? It has $8 billion of TVL. $8 billion worth of Tron is locked away. People have decided to buy tons of Tron and just stake it for whatever, right? Now, to give you a bit of to give you an idea, this is almost, not quite, but almost twice as much as Solana. This is huge. BSC as well. It's got twice as much as BSC, which is a very reliable and a very noteworthy layer 1 protocol, but it is second out of all of these. And even I'm stunned reading this still, you know, that Tron has made that much of an impact. Now, if you're wondering why people buy Tron and why people have gone ahead and staked it, is because this Tron is what you need in order to be able to send USDT transactions, right? Remember I was saying that if you want to send funds, sorry, if you want to use, say, like a certain DApp, or you want to use a layer 1 protocol or whatever, every time you make a transaction on that, you need to pay in the native currency of the original, the token of the original layer 2 protocol. In this case, it's Tron. So every time you send USDT via the TRC20 network, that's the Tron's network, you need to have Tron in your wallet in order to be able to send those funds. Now, you might not notice this as much because you might be sending it on an exchange, right? You might use USDT TRC20 on Binance, and you're sending those funds to like maybe your own wallet or somewhere else, and you don't personally have the TRC, you know, tokens. You didn't have the Tron tokens on you, but, you know, sure as hell the exchange has to have those tokens. In fact, they have to buy a lot of Tron tokens, right? Now, on top of that, there are a number of people, because they're trading USDT regularly, a number of them have gone ahead, and I think you have to download some kind of not a browser wallet, not a web wallet. It's like a it's like a software wallet, and it's a software wallet where you can store your Tron, and you ultimately can stake your Tron in order to be able to get like a huge discount on your USDT transactions. So if you send USDT via the Tron network, we'll just say from Binance to Bybit, right? That'll cost you $1. On Bybit, it's $1.30, which it still beats Ethereum, and it's a very reliable network, so most people are very okay with that, right? But there are people that don't want to pay that dollar, right? So if the more you stake, the cheaper those fees become. The less you stake, the less cheap the fees. But the point is, if you've got Tron and you stake it, you can save huge amounts on the fees, but you just have to hold Tron, right? And as a result, a number of people have decided that it saves them a lot more money if they just have Tron and they stake it. So this is the primary use case for Tron, and why so many people have staked it, and why so many people continue to buy it. And I've got to say, like, as I'm reading this, I'm getting a little bit bullish on Tron. When I see the TVL being like almost twice as much as Binance Coin, being almost twice as much as Solana, I'm thinking it's pretty bullish. And I want to show you a bunch of other news right now. This is 4 hours ago. Tether mints another 1 billion USDT on the Tron network. That is incredibly bullish, because that basically means more people have to buy the Tron token in order to be able to facilitate these transactions. Tether mints 1 billion USDT on Tron, pushing its total tokens minted in the last year to $33 billion. And there's something else I want to show you here. Do you know how... Okay, so Tether, it's got a market cap of $116 billion. Do you know that 53 billion of those dollars is on the Tron network? Which makes it higher than... Let me just read this so I don't mince my words. The use of Tether USDT on the Tron network has helped increase the underlying on-chain activity to about 53 billion. Hence... Oh, wait, sorry, I was reading something else. What I actually want to show you. Okay, but that is actually a very cool article. I'm going to show that to you in a moment. How much is it? Totaling 57 million transfers. Okay, here we go. Surprisingly, Tron accounts for more than half, 53%, of the total USDT supply. So, of the $116 billion of USDT, almost half of that, sorry, a bit more than half of that is on the Tron network. That's crazy, right? Nearly rivaling Ethereum ERC20's counterpart, which owns 46. No, that's not nearly rivaling. They're outcompeting them to like, you know, by like 9%, sorry, for like 7%, sorry. That's no small feat, you know, considering that Tron is so much smaller than ETH. I mean, but then again, like, this is Tron's niche. ETH has way more dApps, way more use cases than Tron. So it's, ETH is, I'm not saying, Tron's going to flip ETH or anything like that. But I mean, it's very impressive that they've carved out a niche like this. The aggregate portion of all other networks in the USDT supply is a tiny 1%, right? So think about this: AVAX, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, all of the USDT on all of them is like 1% compared to like Tron, right? Interestingly, the vast majority of USDT holders on the Tron network are retail investors or tiny holdings. There are currently 52.6 million holders with balances of less than 1,000, a figure that has increased even throughout the weak market. And that's exactly what I'd suspect, right? I feel like the people that would benefit the most from holding Tron and staking it in order to get, in order to be able to save on fees, are people that are probably trading USDT on an institutional level, or they're doing it as a business, right? So for the average person who just wants to, send a bit of USDT here and there, they're not really that interested. Like I use USDT TRC20 all the time, but even I'm not really that tempted to, shave a few percentages points off, my fees. But for people that are doing this for business and they're doing tens, hundreds of transactions a day, that adds up. So yeah, it would make sense that a lot of the people doing this are whales. In comparison, there are 359,000 holders with balances ranging from 1,000 to 10,000. This distribution demonstrates that a sizable number of smaller investors use Tron's USDT, reinforcing its position as a significant player in the DeFi market. And this is why Tron's dominance has kind of come up from behind. Very few people saw this coming, because the people that actually are buying Tron and actually using USDT TRC20 at such a high level, there are very few of them, right? But those few large players have been responsible for pumping up the market cap of Tron so much. Now, on one last thing that I want to point out, because this is pretty cool, Tether's USDT on Tron network outpaces Visa with 53 billion daily volume. Now, let me check here. What has the highest volume in crypto, real quick? Let's have a look at that. It's exactly as I expected. Exactly as I suspected. Tether has the highest trading volume out of all the cryptos, more than Bitcoin, way more than Ethereum. It's got $40 billion of 40 billion trading volume every single day, and half of that is done on the Tron network, right? So this is why Tron is around. That's why Tron keeps sticking around, right? And it's to the point where it outpasses Visa. The Tether USD market dominance, fueled by mass adoption on the Tron network, has threatened to dethrone Visa in global digital payments. My goodness, that is insane. The notable adoption of USD on the Tron network has bolstered TRX price action amid the ongoing price correction that Bitcoin led. So there you go. I actually, just making this video is making me want to buy a bit of Tron. That's totally not financial advice, and if I did, I'd probably just buy a little bit of it. But I mean, isn't that interesting, right? Because Tron was the kind of coin that people left for dead. People were making fun of like Justin Sun as kind of just like another charlatan from the ICO era, a relic of a long bygone time when people were fueled by their dreams and maybe a bit high on their own farts. But since then, pretty much to be a major player in this day and age, because the crypto market's huge and is very competitive now, you need to be performing at a very high level, and it's kind of like Tron has done that. So, hats off to Justin Sun and what they've accomplished. It's very cool, actually. So thanks a lot for watching my videos, guys. If you like these no-nonsense updates about crypto, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in buying crypto without KYC, you can use my referral links in the description down below for HODL and Local CoinSwap. These are two exchanges where you don't have to give KYC, and you don't have to provide any personal information as well. And you can use like a huge variety of different payment methods, whereas on traditional centralized exchanges, you've just got like a bank transfer, that's it. on these peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges that I'm recommending. You can use everything from TransferWise, Revolut, you can use credit cards, Western Union, who knows what else, you know, like Seashells. You can go check it out. Yeah, so thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.